Great day, kings and queens. Yeah, welcome to another conversation with Drew, where it's an honor to be able to serve you guys with this gift that I have, where it's such a blessing, to be able to share the knowledge, wisdom, and and understanding that I've gained through these experiences that's causing me to become the best version of myself. As I continue to give you, man, my truth, that you may, aspire to become the best version of yourself. This is a Thankful Thursday. And I just want to, say that, man, I'm so grateful for understanding, man. I'm so grateful for the power of knowledge. I'm so grateful for our thinking, man. I'm so grateful for life. I'm truly grateful for all the experiences I've ever gone through, and one of them has, truly been an understanding of the things that I say, the things that I speak, the words that come out of my mouth. And that's something, I want to share with you guys this morning, is the power of your words, the power of the things you say. Great morning, Queen. The power of the things that comes out of your mouth. We don't realize, that we were created by the Creator to be creative. And when you understand that you have authority in the things that you say. When you understand that, everything that's in creation was spoken by a word. Everything in creation began with a word. And so you start recognizing that if you came from that same Creator, that you have the ability and the authority to literally speak words that can transform your very life. And so you'll stop just, frivolously using words just because you felt that way or just because you had that thought. It's so powerful when you understand the power of the word, when you understand where the word derived from. In the Greek language, the word is the word logos, Logos, and the word logos means the expression of an idea. And that's why I can say, when John in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God, and the word became flesh, because, Jesus Christ became the very idea of God in the earth. And so when you understand the power of your words, you'll begin to challenge your thinking so that you are only speaking the right words. It's so powerful, right? Because as you go through your daily life, you don't realize that the very things that you fear are from your thinking. And so those things that you thought that, Drew, you can't do that, Drew. You ain't got the ability to do that, Drew. And so you end up saying, it's like, man, I can't even do that. And you don't realize, as a creator, you just literally spoke death into what it is that you wanted to accomplish. You have to understand that, man. Everything that we've ever did in life, it always originated with a thought. The thought came and became your words. So the things that you were thinking, you then spoke. Think about it, man. Everything that you said that you wanted to do, you did it. Why? Because you thought it before and then you spoke it. This is the power of you. This is what you have to understand, that you have this type of ability, that you have this type of authority, that you have this type of power. But if you do not understand it, you'll start speaking every thought that comes to your mind, whether it's negative or positive, because you aren't cognizant of the things that you are saying. You're not cognizant of your power, right? I just want you to begin to consciously pay attention to the things that you're saying. I want you to consciously pay attention to the words that you say out your mouth. I want you to consciously pay attention to the thoughts before you speak. And you'll begin to see how powerful your thinking is. You'll begin to see how powerful your words are. I knew that I wanted to be in shape. I knew very well that I wanted to be in shape, right? And this is what's so powerful, is that I began to tell myself over and over and over again that I wanted the lifestyle of health and wellness. I was believing that. So then when I began to run into people and they be like, man, Drew, I heard you working out, man. I want the lifestyle of health and wellness. I began to speak it over and over and over again. And then I began to take action. But that all originated with a thought. And then we go back again to the word in Greek is logos, Logos, which means the expression of an idea. That's all your word is. If you pay attention to the back of your car, it might say Buick, it might say Honda, it might say Mercedes, it might say BMW, it might say Lexus, the company you work for. It might be Alliance Data, it might be Best Buy, it might be Honda itself. When you recognize the power of your words and how powerful and significant words are, you'll begin to consciously, and I say consciously, begin to pay attention to the very words that you are speaking. Because if you don't want to be out of shape anymore, stop telling people and stop telling yourself that you're out of shape and you're fat. Start saying that I am a person who has adopted the mentality of the health and wellness lifestyle, and I am in shape. I am a person who desires to eat and eat correctly, so I now am a person who cooks. You have to begin to say this. I know you're looking at me like I'm crazy, like, man, Drew, it's not that simple. It really is. In the personal development world, right? They always talk about positive affirmations. They always talk about speaking things into existence. If you read Think and Grow Rich by the Napoleon Hills, or you read the Master Key Systems by the Charles F. Haanel, or As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, you'll begin to see the power of your thinking. You begin to see the power of the words that come from your thinking. The words that we speak are derived from our thoughts, right? It was just like as I just went through this bad experience of a relationship, called a breakup, right? It's so powerful, the things that creep up in your mind, right? You'll just be chilling, not even thinking about it. This is how powerful it is, but you got to be cognizant of it, right? It'll be so powerful, like, man, ain't that messed up, man, how she left you, man, Drew? You know what I mean? Like, man, dude, you was doing everything. And I had to stop it immediately and say, you know what? I'm a king. And I was created by a king to be a king, and I will have an amazing wife, and my amazing wife has arrived. I immediately switched it because I understand the principle, the law of not allowing that thought to permeate my soul. And then I go throughout my whole day down and downtrodden because I'm just like, man, that's messed up how she left me. That's messed up how she broke. No, I'm gonna immediately speak life to it. Nah, man, I'm a king. And I deserve an amazing wife. And God prepared a path for me so that my amazing wife may enter my life, and she has arrived. I am expecting my wife to come. This is how powerful that we are, man. Oh my gosh, I hope y'all get this. Because the authority that was placed on your life, you got to think about it. The authority that was placed on your life was by a word. The Creator didn't physically say, have dominion in the earth. He spoke it. He said, and let us create man in our same image and likeness, and allow them to have dominion in the earth. Let them have dominion over the birds of the air, over the fish of the sea, over the cattle, over everything that creeps upon the ground, over all the earth. You literally have that type of authority. You literally was given that authority by a word. So when you understand the power in your thinking, you'll begin to change what's in your bucket. If you want to believe in yourself, you'll put words of affirmation in there so that when it's time to draw from that, you will have those words already ready, right? And that's why I was talking to my cousin Isaiah, right? Incredible wise man. And he was a person who was in a position to have the ability to hear from the Creator, right? And one time he had shared with me as we were talking, he said, man, God told me, he said, man, he said, just like the rain falls down and the heaven comes from, he said, and the snow comes from heaven. He said, and it does not return there. He said, but it comes into the earth to water it, that it may bring forth a bud, so that it may give seed to the sower and that it may give bread to the eater. I hope y'all paying attention to these words. He said, so shall my word be. This is the Creator talking now. So shall my word be that comes forth. He said, it shall not return unto me void. He said, but it shall accomplish what I please it. He said, and it shall prosper in what I sent it. Well, listen to what he said. He said that just like the rain come down and the snow from heaven, he said, and does not return there. He said, so shall my word be that comes forth out of my mouth. Now, this is the Creator speaking. That same Creator said, let us make these men, our male and female, in our same image and likeness. Let them do the same exact thing that we did. So just like the rain and the snow come down from heaven and don't return there, he says, so shall my word be. When you speak something, you are speaking life or death into something. That's like my great cousin Solomon. You know what I mean? One of the wisest men that we ever known in the earth. He said that a man's belly, listen to how powerful this is. He said a man's belly shall be satisfied by the fruit of his mouth. By the fruit of his mouth. Listen to what it's saying. It's saying that you have fruit in your mouth. That must mean that in your belly must be seed. I'm telling you, you got to get this word. So he's saying a man's belly shall be satisfied by the fruit of his mouth and by the increase of his lips. By the increase of what he says, he shall be filled. Then he goes on to say, death and life is in the power of your tongue. and those who love it should eat the fruit thereof. You have to understand what you are doing, kings and queens. You're not just saying words out of your mouth. You're just not speaking words that just fall on deaf ears or fall onto the ground. No, every single time that you say something out of your mouth, you are speaking either death or life. Either death or life. That's why you have to continue to speak powerful words of affirmation of the things that you desire out of your life. You just can't keep saying unconscious words that are just literally creating your life. This is how powerful words are, right? When y'all know my story about when I was facing a mandatory minimum of 10 years, a maximum of 20 to life. Y'all know that I was in one of the most trying moments of my life. My faith was truly being tested. I remember sitting in the office of the public defender, right? And it was a moment, I could see it like it was yesterday, right? I'm sitting in his office. We're in this tower. We're sitting real high up and the sun is shining through. That's why every time the sun comes through and kisses me on the face, it's always one of those moments, right? And I'm literally sitting here and I'm having to listen to all of these all of these audio recordings of my guy. And when he had met up with the CI, the confidential informant on this drug sale, right? And I'm literally having to listen to all of this. And at the end of it, I told him, speaking from my heart, I said, man, I believe in God. This is what I told the public defender. I believe in God. I at the time, I really didn't even know what a public defender was. I'd never been in trouble, so I didn't know a public defender was really just like the watered down poor version of a real attorney. Even though they go through all of the training, they're a public defender for a reason, because they are not the upper echelon when it comes to attorneys. And so I'm sitting here telling him, this man that I've never met, white Caucasian man named Gordon Hobson, I said, man, I believe in God. You know what I mean? I said, I know that I'm not going to jail for no 10 years. I know that I'm not going to serve any time. This is what I'm saying. These are the words that are coming out of my mouth because of the thoughts that were in my bucket, right? I'm not going to jail. I believe in God. This is how powerful it is, right? I was going to trial on a Monday morning. Monday morning, I was going to trial, right? I might have said this a few months prior to this Friday that came, right? Listen, this is how powerful it is, right? These are the very words that this man said when he called me. The first thing he said when he called me on that Friday before that Monday, this is what he said. He said, your God must be real. This is what he said. Your God must be real. Why? Because they want to make a deal that's going to throw everything out, and ultimately you will just serve probation. Because of what I said, because of what I believed, because of the words that I spoke, like Chris Tucker said, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You figure deal me. Listen, because of what I believed and because of what I spoke, it had to take shape. I wasn't speaking from a place of fear. I was speaking from a place of faith and what I believed in. And when I spoke it, it resonated in the earth, right? Because again, my words can't return unto me void. They're going to accomplish what I please and prosper in the things that I said, that I was speaking to the whole system. I'm not going to jail. I don't know. Y'all got the wrong one. Listen, I know that y'all used to locking up black brothers with black skin, but this one right here, I got a purpose in this earth. This one right here, I'm here for a reason. This one right here, I can't waste no time behind bars. This one right here, you can't put me in a cage like an animal. I don't know about nobody else's life, but what I do know is that I'm not going to jail. Hey, Drew. This is the phone call, right? Hey, Drew. Your God must be real. What did I say to him? I believe in God. I know that God is real. This is what's so powerful about what you do. Every single day of your life. If it's challenges in your finances, it's starting from your thinking. If it's challenging in your relationship, it's starting from your thinking. If it's challenging on your job, it's starting with your thinking. If it's challenging in your parenting, it's starting with your thinking. So when those thoughts, those silent thoughts, just think about it. I promise you, you'll recognize what I'm saying. When those thoughts like, man, your kids is out here tripping, man. Oh my God, I hope that don't happen. Immediately, you're supposed to say, man, my children are beautiful. I have the most amazing children in the earth, and my children will be successful. You got that ability. You're waiting on the Creator to do something when you have that ability. He's already finished everything, and when he gave you birth, he started what he already finished. So when you understand that you have that ability, you will start speaking it. Stop waiting for some magical thing to happen when you are the magic. He put the very essence of who he is, the magic that you're looking for, the miracle that you're looking for, he put it in you. And then he established these principles in the earth that says, as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. So you know that in your thinking, what you speak is what you're going to create. So if you want a better life, this is real talk. I listen to the Les Browns. I listen to the Bob Proctors. You know what I mean? I listen to those in the personal development realm, right? And they always talk about what you think and what you speak, because it is literally law. It's principle. What I say to you is not a scripture when I say, as a man think in his heart, so is he. They just word it different. They say, what you think about, you bring about. It's the same exact thing. But the literal power of what you desire out of life is in what you speak. Literally. Just look at it. How have you learned information that you have right now? What did you do? You read it. Or you got it from somebody who has read it. Or you got it from somebody who has experienced it. And what they do, they spoke it to you. It resonated with your spirit. And now you believe it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Because you have the ability to create just like God created. You have that same type of ability. Where does inventions come from? Inventions come from people who thought about it, and then they spoke it, they believed it, they spoke it, they believed it, they spoke it, they believed it, they spoke it, they wrote the vision, they made it plain, which we call a plan or a blueprint. They wrote it down, and then they acted on it. That's the faith with the works. It's law. But if you're not paying attention to what you're thinking and saying, you don't recognize that you're creating the very problems that you have. I want a man. All right, well, you got one. He might not been the right one. Well, you need to be more specific. You need to be more specific. What do you want out of life? Be more specific. That has nothing to do with what God. Oh, no, God gave me this man. No, he didn't. You sound like Adam. You know what I mean? When he bit the apple. Well, you gave me this woman. Nah, that was on you, player. You know what I mean? You made that decision. But the reality of it is that we have a power and an authority in the way that we think and the way that we speak. It's just that you have not been conditioned and trained to be cognizant of the very things that you're thinking about. So when those thoughts of depression come, when those thoughts of doubt come, you have to have something to combat it. You have to literally have something to literally speak against that very word that came into your mind. Just like man, the thoughts that used to come into my mind, literally, this is how I used to think about my health. I used to think and believe that I will always be obese. I accepted it. So my future thoughts was with me in mind being big. Well, Drew, how did you go from that to being in shape for the past 7 years of your life? I began to change that. I began to say to myself, man, I want the lifestyle of health and wellness. I've been in shape for sports before. I worked out and trained for sports before, but I want the lifestyle of health and wellness. These were the words that I was saying, kings and queens. I want the lifestyle of health and wellness. I want to be able to experience it at least for a year and then see what happens after that. I began to speak it. How did I get over my addiction to marijuana? I used to always ask my homies, ask the homies I grew up with. I used to say, I just want to see what's on the other side. I want to see what's on the other side of me smoking and having sex with women. I just want to see what's on the other side. I want to see what's on the other side of me having sex and smoking weed. I just want to see what's on the other. I kept saying it over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. And it had to materialize. Why? Because a man's belly shall be satisfied by the fruit of his mouth, and by the increase of his lips shall he be filled. Death and life is in the power of what you say. Get this. Get this. What did the woman with the issue of blood say? If I can just touch the hem of his garment. Understand, man, listen, when I speak this stuff, I pray, man, my prayer is that y'all recognize, man, this ain't no religious crap, man. This is not no religious mumbo jumbo. These are laws and principles. See, you looked at it and you saw a scripture, right? What up, King? You look at it and you saw a scripture. I look at it and I saw a law. I seen that woman believe something and then speak it. It said that she spoke it. And then what did Christ say back to her? Daughter, be of good cheer, for your faith has made you whole. Not the fact that I'm God in the flesh, not the fact that I have this power and this ability to heal, not because I was given the authority to heal. No, because of your faith, you are whole. As you believe, so shall it be done unto you. All things are possible to him who believe. It's in your thinking and the words that you express out of your mouth. You have to understand that you have the ability to change your circumstances by changing the information that's in your bucket, your subconscious mind, your soul, or your heart. You have the ability by changing that. What did Paul say? That's why I love, man, my family members, man. My Uncle Paul was so incredibly wise, right? He said, man, Drew, tell these people, man, don't be conformed to the world. Being conformed to the world meaning that you're taking on their ideologies, their ideas that become your ideologies. Your ideologies become the philosophies, and the philosophies become the very lifestyle that you live. He said, Drew, tell them don't take on this. Don't take on these ideas. Get them, Neff. He said, go get them, Neff. I said, I got you, He said, don't take on these ideas, right? He said, do not conform to this. He said, but be transformed. How? Not by your actions, not by your physical prowess. He said, be transformed by a renewing of your mind. Let me break down the word renew. Renew is a grammatical construct, right? The word it means to go back to the original state. So that was just like if I told you to recover, meaning that the health that you were in before you got sick, go back to that health. If I said repeat, that means go back to the place that you were. If you was a champion last year, repeat and go back to that championship. If I said retreat, that means that you came from somewhere, go back to that place. So when I say renew, I'm saying go back to the original way of thinking. The original way of thinking was fear, not doubt. The original way of thinking was authority, not submission as far as being a subservient. The original way of thinking was power, not weakness. You have that authority. Go back to that original way. So if you don't know what this original way is, you got to go read, man. You have to go read, because the information that you have right now is failing you. It's failing you. Power is in the knowledge that you have. If I knew that 2 + 2 was 4 and all you knew was 1 + 1 is 2, the only results you will ever get out of life will always equate to 2. The power that I have is 2 + 2 is 4. That means that I'll always have more over you. If I shared that knowledge with you, now you become just as powerful as I am. Well, I got that knowledge from reading. So what I'm saying to you is that the only thing that you have to do is understand the power and the authority in your thinking. Your thinking is going to lead you to say something out of your mouth. Whatever you say, you're creating. I promise you, you're creating. You think that the light post that's outside of your home just dropped out of the sky? No, it came from an idea. Somebody said, man, I want to create these tall poles, just like the lamp that's in a house, that's sitting on a table, that gives light to the house. Well, how can we illuminate the street? We can create these long poles with a light at the top that illuminates over a large amount of area, and we can put these every 20, 30 feet, and we can illuminate the whole street. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. It's literally that simple. They believe that they can illuminate your whole street by the same thing that they illuminated the house with. They illuminated the house with a small little lamp. They thought that they can do that in the street, and they didn't. It's literally that simple. If you believe it, you will speak it, and you can create it. You have that much power, that much authority. Again, the Creator created you to be creative. You don't have to sit back and wait no more twirling your thumbs. You got the authority to create what it is that you desire out of life. Again, the reason why I've read the Think and Grow Riches of the World, why I've read the Game in Life and How to Play It, why I've read As a Man Thinketh, why I read The Pursuit of Purpose, why I've read Destiny, Instinct, why I read all of this information, because the information allowed me to know the authority that I have. That's why. Once you believe something and then you speak it, you created it. So that's saying right now, kings and queens, that if you believe that you are a failure and you speak it, you are creating opportunities for you to fail, not succeed. It's that simple. Don't get all deep on me. It's literally that simple. So what I'm saying to you is that you have to recognize, I need that light. You have to recognize your authority and your power. I know nobody has ever taught you this. Some people have been in what we call church their whole lives and they've never heard this. I know you're not getting this work in school. I get it. I get it, got it good. I come from the same public schools that you went to. I came from the same religious organizations that you come from. But when I stepped out and I began to see the power and the authority that we really had, and I began to diligently seek it because that's what my heart desired, I found truth. And these are principles and laws that cannot fail man. They are irrefutable and infallible. So that means that just like you believe in a law of gravity, that if an African American, a European American, an Asian American, a Hispanic American, all was standing on the top of your building and they decided to jump off, even though one believed in Christianity, one believed in Baha'i faith, one believed in Islam, and one was an atheist. It does not matter. When they all jump off at the same time, what they gonna do? They gonna hit the ground. Why? Because of the law of gravity. Because of the law of gravity. It won't fail you. I promise you. Just like the law of your thinking, your belief, and the law of the words that you speak, it won't fail you. I promise you. I am a living example of it. You can ask King Keith Camp, man. When I say that we call each other almost every single day and we literally pour out words into one another, encouraging affirmations, we are pouring out words. King, I can't wait to see B all over the world. Man, I can't wait, man. I know that we here right now, man, but I can just see it, man. It's going to take over the nation. King Drew, man, you the coldest speaker in the world. I think that you better than Les Browns and da-da-da-da-da. I can't wait for the world to get, man, we are literally speaking life into one another. Because we understand the principle. If I believe more in me because of what my brother is saying to me, and he believes more in himself because what I'm saying to him, then man, it's only a matter of time before it materializes and manifests because it's law. It has absolutely nothing to do with the way he loves me and the way that I love him. I just recognize that it's law. That's it. So we can spend hours on the phone talking to one another about where we're going, talking to one another about what life it has to offer us, talking about where we come from and to where we are right now, because we understand the power of the laws. These are principles. These are laws that you have in you. But it's just that you've thought negatively, so you spoke negatively. Therefore, you got negative results. It's that simple. It's no deeper than that. And I don't want you to believe it's deeper than that. You have to understand it. That was just like the centurion, right? This was a man who said, listen, I'm not even worthy for you, Jesus Christ, to step foot under my roof. Meaning that if it was 2016 going to 2017, I'm not what they call a believer, right? But I got this servant at home, you know what I mean, who's literally dying and he's being tormented by being paralyzed. I need you to heal this man. Jesus Christ said, okay, let's go. He said, cool, man, I got this healing power. I lay my hands on him. Voila, it's done, right? No, he said, check this out. He said, I don't even need you to go to the crib with me. That ain't even happening. You're going to go there and you're going to see some things that you don't want to see. You know what I mean? We might have something hanging from the chandelier. We might have some cheeks in the air over here. We might have some little opiates over here. You know what I mean? You don't want to go to my crib and see what's happening there because you're going to turn around and walk back out. But check this out. I understand how this works. He said, I'm a man under what? Authority too. I understand because Pontius Pilate in this area is got the same authority that Caesar has because Caesar told him by word to have that same authority here. That's why Caesar was able to tell Jesus Christ, don't you know that I'm a man who can either crucify you or set you free? Why? Because he had the same authority as Caesar in this area he was sent to rule over by word. So the centurion said, man, check this out. I'm a man under authority too. I know how this works. I know these laws, pimp. He said, I tell them to go, they go. I tell them to come, they come. I tell them to do, they do. So what I recognize is by law, all you got to do is speak the word. Man, this was so amazing to me. It says that Jesus marveled. He looking at all the people who were the chosen people, the Israelites, right? He looking at all of these people. He looking at all of his students. And he like, man, listen, man, I have not seen a faith like this in all of Israel. You jokers that see me perform miracles. You jokers that see me feed the multitudes. You jokers that see me walk on water. Y'all done see me do all of this stuff. But this brother right here who ain't never experienced it said all I got to do is speak a word, and through his belief, through what he believed that his people would be healed who was a distance away. He believed that I don't even have to touch him. He believed that if I just say it, it shall be done. Why did he say this then? This is what got me. He said, as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. What did he do? He believed something, so he came and sought that man. He believed something, so he came and sought that man. And then he did what? He expressed what he believed. It's principle. It's law. It has nothing to do with whether you're wearing a cross on. Man, this stuff is funny for real, man. Because the people who wearing cross necklaces, cross earrings, Jesus, I love you hats, you know what I mean? You going to hell on the back of their shirts. You understand me? Are the ones who ain't applying the laws and the principles. I've been in this my whole life. I've been around religious organizations my whole life. There are people out here who are practicing the laws and the principles that are winning in life because they understand that that's all they are, is law and principle. They understand it. It ain't about running and jumping up and down and rolling on the ground and all of this goofy stuff that we've been led to believe. It's about law and principle. And if you work the principle, it has to work for your life. Once you understand that, kings and queens, your life will change forever. What are you speaking? Are you speaking life in your situation, or are you speaking death? When you look at your kids, are you speaking life over their future, or are you speaking death? When you look at your relationship, are you speaking life over it, or are you speaking death? When you look at your finances, are you speaking life to where you desire them to be, or are you speaking death or where they're going to stay? What are you speaking, kings and queens? What is coming out of your mouth? Because the Creator created you to be creative. And if you continue to create unconsciously, you'll still get it. You're still going to get that work. But when you recognize that you have the authority to change your circumstances and your situation by your belief and by the words that come out your mouth, then you will change it. Why does it say faith come by hearing? That means that you got to hear something different. And if it's negativity around you in your conversation and your friendships and your relationships and your workforce and your friends, if that's what you're around, then you have to change that environment by what your authority says that you can do. So if you are not doing that and you are not getting what you want out of life, that means that your belief system is weak right now. In order to build your belief system, start listening to audios that encourage your belief. Start reading books that encourage your belief. Start watching TV programs that encourage your belief. Because if you're doing the contrary, that's why you have the results that you have. Because no one has ever helped you to build your faith and your belief. But the power is in what you believe and then what you speak. And if your belief is weak, your words will be weak. Change the way that you believe, you'll change the way that you speak, and ultimately you'll change your life. Thank you guys for tuning in to this TV program, Another Conversation with Drew. You understand me? We working on building this thing to be global, and we appreciate everybody who continues to support us. But remember, man, it's not a look, it's a lifestyle. Because we do this every day, not to impress people, but to leave an impression on the earth. Man, we are accepting donations, man. If it's $1, if it's $10,000, we're accepting donations, kings and queens, because we want to take this thing beyond Facebook. If you want to donate, hit me up at Andrew D. Clayborn, that's CLAYBORN, the original, no I, no E, Andrew Clayborn, Andrew D. Clayborn at gmail.com. Inbox me for the instructions or hit me up in a DM. God bless y'all. I love you guys. Have a thankful Thursday. Find something to be thankful for. Express that and watch your life change forever. Peace.